The clock is ticking. We're not going to allow Iran to perpetually engage in negotiations that lead nowhere.
They'll visit multiple nuclear sites just as the May 15th deadline approaches.
Nuclear agreement as a Sunday deadline for a deal approaches.
To hammer out this nuclear deal with Iran as this deadline is quickly approaching.
The nuclear talks with Iran have entered a critical phase as tomorrow night's deadline approaches.
America is determined to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, and we will do what is necessary to prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon. Any long-term deal we agree to must be based on verifiable action that convinces us and the international community that Iran is not building a nuclear bomb.
And have confidence going forward that Iran doesn't have the capacity to develop a nuclear weapon.
So I think Iran is on notice that when we meet with them on October 1st, they are going to have to come clean.
Statements reported out of Iran this week indicate that Iran may now be unwilling to discuss outstanding questions on the possible military dimensions of their nuclear program.
Seems as though these negotiations are focused on slowing down Iran's program, but not stopping it.
We can envision a comprehensive agreement that involves extraordinary constraints and verification mechanisms and intrusive inspections.
Iran is criticizing the chief of the United Nations Atomic Agency for demanding snap inspections of Iran's nuclear sites.
He says the demand stands in the way of Tehran and world powers reaching a deal on the country's controversial nuclear program.
They don't need to have a underground fortified facility like Fordo in order to have a peaceful nuclear program.
According to the Associated Press, the U.S. is considering letting Tehran run hundreds of centrifuges, thousands of centrifuges, at a once-secret fortified underground bunker.
The trade-off would allow Iran to run several hundred centrifuges at its Fordo facility.
They certainly don't need a heavy water reactor at Iraq in order to have a peaceful nuclear program.
There is more agreement on centrifuges. There's more agreement on the Iraq heavy water reactor.
They don't need some of the advanced centrifuges that they currently possess.
You know, you say you're choking them with sanctions, but they went from like in the hundreds of centrifuges to in the tens of thousands under sanctions.
The clock is ticking.